Hi Rachel, thank you for chatting to me today. So I have 3 questions for you. First of all, I wanted to know what Authentic Media looks for when it chooses a book. Presumably you receive lots of manuscripts, so how do you decide which ones to publish?
Hi Anna. First of all, just want to say congratulations on your new book. Really pleased that it's now out, and I hope you enjoy your launch. Yes, so we do have lots of manuscripts coming, some better than others. So our main criteria is that it has to be Christ-centred. That is above everything else. If it doesn't fit into that, we don't even go any further, no matter how good the book might be. And secondly, it has to involve change. So it has to, for the reader, it has to either make a difference in their life in some way, so either encourage their spirituality, deepen their walk with God, point them to Jesus for the first time perhaps, or maybe challenge attitudes, or encourage people to think through issues and have a deeper relationship with God. So something along those lines, but it has to do something for the reader. And then it also has to have something important to say. It's surprising how many manuscripts come in that don't really have anything unique to say, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that's different, that actually has something really unique and powerful to say in the manuscript. And then finally, if we get to a point where we think it might be good, then we always want to meet with the author, and we want to work in partnership with authors. So it's really important that any book that we take on, that our passion and the author's passion align. So we want to work with authors that we can partner with, whose heart for their book is the same as ours, and that it's about kingdom ministry. So that kind of is the overall criteria that we work to.
And my second question then is, why did you decide to publish my book? I'm very grateful and appreciate you doing that. So can you tell me and everybody else why you chose it, please?
So the short answer of why we took your book on is that it did all of those above things, in short. But really, the first time you sent in, you just sent in a proposal form, which had some simple questions, and even from then we thought, this is something that could be really interesting. So even from that initial pitch, when you were talking about these women's lives and working in Nepal, and the issues that women had and how God had intervened in their lives, felt like something that absolutely fitted into that criteria that we just talked about. And then when we got your sample chapters, to be honest, we were blown away from the minute we first read even those very first drafts. And I remember reading the introduction, when you're just introducing the scene of Kathmandu and Nepal, and it was just so into the sights and sounds of it, you just felt like you was already there with you. And then you introduced these women, and we only had about 3 stories, I think, at this time. But just reading those stories, it was like, these are just amazing. It's like something we've never read before. The issues that you were talking about, it's like, no, we haven't heard about some of these things. And yet you were just so great in the way you teased out their stories and shown how God had changed their lives. So it was absolutely one of those books that absolutely felt that it was in our heartland of what we love to do. We love doing biographies and about changed lives, and this book absolutely fitted into it. We didn't have anything else on our list like it. And then we met up with you. It seems a long while ago now, but we did. And again, from our first talkings with you, you were so humble about what you were doing. You were so passionate and had such a heart for Jesus in all of this, and that you wanted these stories to be told for God's glory, and it just felt that we could work in partnership with you because we were both trying to do the same thing. So basically we took it on because we just thought it was a fantastic book that could really change lives, and we wanted to be a part of that with you.
And finally, I know you've read the book, so was there a story of a woman that particularly stood out for you and that you enjoyed and were impacted by?
I'm going to choose Lila, or Leela, I'm not quite sure the correct pronunciation, so apologies for getting that wrong. It's the first story in the book, and I've chosen it because it was the first one that I read, and its impact was that I wanted to publish the book because I read that one. So that's why I've chosen that one. And her story is about having leprosy, and in my naivety I kind of thought that leprosy is something that's kind of been and gone, not still sort of a live issue in the world, and impacts people so much still with this stigma and prejudice, and a story of being sort of 14 and contracting this and what that meant for her is heartbreaking, really. But I just loved her gumption, I suppose, and her spirit that she wasn't going to let it get the better of her, and she goes to hospital and she's determined to get it sorted. And I just, those stories of how God intervened even when she wasn't a Christian, but God was drawing her in and just helping her and moving her on in faith and moving her to him. There were some just incredible stories of just how God did that. And even when she became a Christian, then she had all the persecution because she was a Christian in that culture, and again faced so many issues and everything. And yet, she'd found something precious, and she was willing to, as you call it in the book, the evangelist. She was willing to evangelise and not count the cost. And again, those stories of when the authorities are chasing her, and it's like cat and mouse, and she just managed to escape and everything. It's just, she just seems the most amazing woman, and yet so many bad things have happened to her, yet she wants to live her life to the glory of God, and that so shines through her story. And I say, when I read that, I thought, I want to help her tell her story. I want her to be able to show God's glory to lots more people. So that's why I've chosen that one.
Thank you so much for your time and for telling us more about your work and the book. Bye.